You are standing on a corpse. Every mountain you have ever seen bones, every ocean blood. The ground under your feet, flesh. The sky above your head, the inside of a skull. This is not a metaphor. This is what the oldest Norse sources say about the world you live in. Midgard, the realm of men, was not created. It was carved. From the body of a dead giant named Ymir, the first gods built everything you know. And the wall they built to protect the body becomes the world. Before anything else in this video, something needs to be said. The name Niflheim, Niflheimer in Old Norse, appears in the surviving sources only once in a major text. In Snorri Sturluson's Prose Edda, in the section called Gylfaginning. Nowhere in the Poetic Edda, the older collection of poems, is this name used. The Poetic Edda does use a related term, Niflhel, the dark place below, the lowest of the dead's destinations. But the full picture of Niflheim as a distinct primordial realm, its layout, its rivers, its relationship to the beginning of everything, comes almost entirely from Snorri. This does not make it invented. Snorri drew from sources now lost to us, and the concepts he describes align with older fragments scattered through the poems. But you should know, when this video describes Niflheim in detail, it is describing Snorri's vision, written in the 13th century, of something that predates the world itself. With that said, here is what he recorded, the beginning. Midgard means the middle enclosure, not the middle world, the middle fence. The name is not about geography, it is about protection. When the brothers had finished shaping the earth, they gave the giants land to live on near the sea, at the outer edges. And then, in the interior of the world, they built a wall. They made it from Ymir's eyebrows. This wall is Midgard, this fence around the inner world, built from the remains of the same giant whose blood had almost destroyed everything, is what gives this realm its name. Inside the fence, order, civilization, the place where men could live. Outside, Jotunheim, the realm of giants, the outer world, the untamed. The Old Norse word for the space inside the fence was Innengard. The space outside was Utangard. Every human settlement, every farm, every hall Innengard. Everything dark and wild and beyond the boundary, Utangard. The fence is not just a wall, it is the difference between the world you can know and the world that can kill you. Serpent in the sea. But the wall was not the only protection, and it was not the most dangerous thing surrounding Midgard. Odin had a problem. Among the children of Loki were 3 creatures so powerful and so dangerous that he could not leave them free. One was the wolf Fenrir. One was the goddess Hel, who was sent to rule over the dead. And one was a serpent, the Midgard serpent, son of Loki and the giantess Angerboda. The Prose Edda records what Odin did. He took the serpent and threw it into the sea that surrounds all the lands, and there it grew. It kept growing until it encircled the entire world. It grew until it could hold its own tail in its mouth. The serpent lying in that ocean, surrounding Midgard on every side, biting its own tail. This is the creature that every Viking who ever sailed past the horizon was sailing toward. The boundary of the known world was not empty ocean. It was Jormungand. Hell is cast down. The world was built. The wall was raised. The sea was encircled. And then the gods found something on the shore. Two trees, or two pieces of driftwood lying on the beach, shaped roughly like people but with no life in them. No breath, no movement, no color, no sense of anything at all. Voluspa describes them as lacking everything, powerless, without fate. The three gods gave them what they were missing. Odin gave them breath and spirit life itself. His companions gave them movement and intelligence, shape, speech, hearing, and sight. They gave them clothes. They gave them names. The man they named Ash Tree. The woman they named Embla. The meaning of her name is still debated: elm tree, vine, something else entirely. The sources do not agree. These two were the beginning of all of us. Every human being in every part of the world descends from two figures found lifeless on a beach, raised by gods who happened to be walking past. They were given Midgard as their home. Náströnd. Thor carries the name Defender of Midgard. This is not a title he chose. It is what the sources call him, because it is what he does. The giants press constantly against the wall. The serpent lies in the sea. The wild world outside the fence does not stop being wild because a fence was built. Thor moves against the threats. He travels to Jotunheim again and again. He wades the rivers when the bridge burns. He is the force that holds the boundary open for men to live inside. And at Ragnarok, when everything ends, Thor and Jormungand will face each other on the battlefield of Vigrid. The Midgard serpent will rise from the ocean, releasing its tail, and the waters will follow it onto the land. The two enemies who have circled each other for the entire age of the world will finally meet. After Midgard burns, the sea rises. The world that was made from a body returns to something like the void it was built over. And then the earth rises again. Voluspa describes it: green and fertile, rising from the waters. Unsown fields already bearing grain. The surviving gods finding each other on the plain where everything once stood. Eagles hunting fish along cliffs that were not there before. Two humans survived the end. They were hidden in the wood of the world tree. Their names are Lif and Lifthrasir, which mean life and life-eager. They come out into the new world, and the morning dew is their food. And from them, the world fills with people again. The corpse of the first giant became the world. The survivors of its destruction will begin again. Everything that was made will be made again. What remains? Niflheim does not end at Ragnarok. The sources do not describe it being destroyed. Muspelheim's fire will consume much of what exists. The sea will rise. Yggdrasil will shake. But the cold that predated the world does not have a recorded ending. What the sources show is this: before anything began, there was cold and mist in the north. After the world ends, Nidhogg is seen flying, carrying the dead in his wings, out from the darkness below. Whatever Niflheim is after Ragnarok, it is still there. Some things predate the gods, and some of those things will outlast them.